mental fatigue. Now we have spiritual and psychological safety. This offers us a neutral zone, but it can also mean lack of spiritual fulfillment. And what that reminded me is about nihilistic absurdism, one of the first presentations on the channel. And there that concept of the lack of spiritual fulfillment was explained in detail. Okay, next we have neutrality in conflict, and that is extremely useful because it can prevent polarizing ideologies. That is very lacking on the American scene right now. But because you avoid the extreme, you can also be alienated, like the guy in the middle of the highway, as we mentioned before. Then we have perceived fairness. Yes, the theological aspect we have pretty much mentioned earlier. No need to repeat ourselves. Okay. So now let's take a look at freedom of consequences. Now that can be good because it gives us personal freedom, but sometimes consequences are necessary to prevent some sort of wrong outcome. Stability is another aspect. That is actually a good thing because it gives us predictability, but lack of changes can get suffocating and can make us trapped, like being trapped between the vehicles. Now staying in the limbo can offer us hope, but because it gives us room for change, but there is no clear path forward. As we said earlier, with this lack of spiritual fulfillment, it's precisely because of that, because there is no path forward. Now let's discuss a concept of lifelong centrism. So lifelong centrism can feel like a limbo, because on one hand it lacks decision because it's not extreme. It doesn't have clear identity. To some degree that is true, but I'd argue it has identity. But it's of course not that clearly visible as in the conflicting ideologies in the extreme world. So we also discussed that earlier, that the centrism can cause isolation in the world that is moving fast and we are standing in the middle of the highway. So it can be a limbo, but it doesn't have to be a limbo. And that's because we have active balance. We choose reason, compromise, but we mean in terms of making the deal that satisfies both sides. We're not talking about compromised in a way destroyed. We're not destroying anything here, we are trying to make a satisfactory deal for both sides, and we try to prevent the extremes, as we stated before. We can also act as a mediator between left and right, and navigate the complex issues. And we are the advocates of pragmatism and realism. Okay, let's now rate the lifelong centrism, leftism and rightism based on the selected criteria. We have decided ourselves for the following factors: adaptability, the social cohesion, so belonging to society essentially, the clarity of values, capacity for progress, conflict management, and personal fulfillment. And now let's take a look at the outcome of the comparison of those three things based on those criteria. So we see that the lifelong centrism is a clear winner here with the score of 7.5 on average. The lifelong leftism has the score of 6.83 in the second place, and the third place, the worst, is the lifelong rightism. Okay, so true centrism is about being strong, autonomous, and active, and it of course draws from both the left and the right, but it's not like it's fully dependent of them. It has a large level of autonomy, or at least it should have, and we're aiming for that. And we're trying to maintain clarity without the rigid views, the stiff views. And we are aiming for high adaptability, which was visible in the previous table. So now let's take a look at why far right looks the worst on our table. So first of all, it's lower adaptability and social cohesion, but what was the deciding factor was the higher conflict potential that made far right look the worst on our chart. That it doesn't say it's not needed. Of course, the right is needed. However, to expand as a right-wing guy, there is a larger need to turn towards centrism. And it's not like we turn left. We might not turn left at all. We might just stop turning right and just stay in the middle. Okay. Okay, and the last thing, the center might feel like it's excluded, but as we said, it's aiming to be included, and that's why it scored 8 in social cohesion. Okay, so thanks everyone for watching. This was all for now. See you then.